Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Fred Manchazza. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to YouTube. Happy Saturday to you all. I hope you're all doing well. We're back today with another show. Obviously, a very, very promising show. Very, very promising show from United today. Obviously, a very, very important win away at Southampton. We're going to talk about the game, talk about the way we won the game. We're also going to talk about some other interesting things coming right now. Manchester City, as it stands, are 2-0 down at home to Crystal Palace. Chelsea are down to 10 men at home to Leicester. Liverpool are actually winning 4-0, believe it or not. But other than that, the results are going in our favour at the moment in terms of teams challenging sort of for the top 4, the top 6 places. So yes, guys, let's talk about the game then. So obviously, a very, very important win. I think it's our first clean sheet since December away from home in the league, which is obviously remarkable, really. I thought throughout the game, I thought it was a bit of a strange game, actually. It wasn't really, it was very much a bit of a scrappy game. I think both teams lacked a little bit of that sort of final quality when they won the ball back from the opposition. But I think overall, guys, I think it was a very, very good result for us. I don't think we played fantastically well. But I think we showed real grit, real determination. Defensively, we were really, really solid. Obviously, got a clean sheet for the first time since December in the league away from home. And yes, guys, very, very delighted with the 3 points. So, guys, please get involved in the comments as always. Please leave a like on the video. If you're new, please do subscribe. Get involved in the comments. We're going to have a big discussion with everybody, a big interactive discussion about the game. We'll run through a few parts of the game. Talk about what we think went well, what we think we maybe could have improved on. But yes, guys, interesting results right now in the Premier League for sure. So let's start generally then. So obviously a 1-0 win, a tough place to go, Southampton. I think we haven't lost there for a long time, but also I think we've drawn a lot of games there. So it's a ground where we tend to draw a lot of games there. And so I think it was really, really important to get 3 points today away at Southampton. Not an easy ground to travel to. Obviously, we know the way that Southampton play. The high press, the amount of intensity they play with when they lose the ball in terms of Hasenhüttl's philosophy. We know how they play, and I thought we actually defended really, really well. I think that was probably the most impressive part of sort of the result, the performance today was the way we defended. I think we didn't. I think going forward, I think we should have scored in the first half. When we had those 4 chances in the space of a few seconds where the shot was blocked, and then it came to Elanga, and then the keeper saved it, and then it was blocked again. So I think we certainly could have scored in that first half. But Southampton equally should have probably scored as well. I think their centre half had a really, really good chance. I don't know whether that was the first or the second half, but I remember he had a good chance. Shea Adams had quite a few sort of half chances. So, to be honest with you guys, I think if we would have drawn that game, we probably would have come away and said, well, that was probably a reasonably fair result. So, for me, I'm actually really, really delighted with the win. As I said, I don't think we played particularly incredibly well, but I think the most important thing about today was just to get the 3 points. I thought Lisandro Martinez once again was excellent. I thought Malacia defended reasonably well. I thought Dalot and Varane as well were pretty good. McTominay actually played quite well defensively. Bruno again obviously came up with a crucial goal. I think in the first half, rightly so, he got criticism along with a lot of other players as well. Sort of the criticism he got, but I think Bruno took his goal really, really well. By the way, I think that finish was a lot harder than a lot of people made out. So yes, guys, really, really delighted to get the 3 points. Very important 3 points. I did say after the game against Liverpool, I said we need to follow it up with another win. It was no good. It's all good and well sort of beating Liverpool, but you can't just beat Liverpool, and then sort of surrender your territory and then go and lose at Southampton or even draw at Southampton. We had to win today. We've got 6 points out of a possible 12 now. I think every single United fan would have bitten your hand off for that sort of tally after 2 games, 2 losses. So yes, guys, very, very promising. Very, very promising. As I said earlier as well, some interesting results in the other games right now. Manchester City are 2-0 down as it stands. Liverpool are actually winning 4-0. Chelsea are down to 10 men, so 0-0 at home to Leicester at the moment, but Chelsea are down to 10 men. So yes, guys, there's some very, very interesting sort of things to talk about, I think, this weekend in the Premier League. You got Spurs as well going away to Forest tomorrow. That'll be a really, really tough game for them. So yes, guys, if we just talk through sort of the game itself, please, guys, there's a few people watching right now. Please do leave a like on the video. Please get involved in the comments as well. Let me know what you guys thought of today. I'm just talking about some parts of the game, talking about the other results as well. Manchester City are 2-0 down. Chelsea are down to 10 men. Interesting things going on. But if we talk about the game, I thought in the first half, I think there was a spell in the first half where we looked really, really good. We looked a lot better. I think sort of after around the 20-minute mark, we looked quite strong. We had, as I said, we had those 4 chances within a few seconds. We should have put at least one of those chances away. When I think Bruno's header, then Elanga, then Eriksen, and we had so many different chances there that we could have put away. And then Southampton, towards the end of the first half, actually really started to show their strengths. I think we were, if we would have gone in at half time behind, I think we would have said, well, in all fairness, I think Southampton may have deserved that. I think the first half, if anyone edged it, was probably Southampton. So I think the first half was okay, but I was happy. I'll talk about something in a minute to get in at 0-0. Miles said, happy with the result and platform that's been built, but not at all satisfied with the lack of attacking imprint I'm seeing from the team. Yeah, I think, Miles, I think that's totally understandable. Please, guys, if you're watching right now, please leave a like on the video. If you want to get involved in the comments, please do that as well. Let me know what you thought of the game. If you're new, please do subscribe as well. I want to talk about the fact that we went in 0-0 at half time. I think something that's sort of underrated in football is making yourself hard to beat. I think if you look at Manchester United in the sort of last few months, if you look at the way we've performed away from home especially, there's been some games where in the first half an hour even, we've been out of the game with 2 or 3-0 down. Within 60 minutes, 4-0 down. I remember away at Brighton, we went in 1-0 down at half time, and then within 15 minutes of the second half, we were 4 down. I remember away at Leicester as well under Ollie's sort of tenure, home to Liverpool, away at Liverpool. We can talk about all these games where our team was just finished after an hour or less, right? But I think what was impressive about today was the determination, the grit that the players showed to stay in this game, even in the first half. We had some decent moments in the first half. I remember a good ball that Eriksen put across the box. As I said before, those 4 chances that we had in the space of a few seconds that we should have put at least one of those away. But if anyone edged that first half, I thought Southampton probably did overall. So to go in at half-time level, to have a base to build on in the second half was important. When you make yourself hard to beat, when you show that grit and determination, you show that work rate off the ball, that gives you a foundation, a base to build with going forward. And then in the second half, a good ball in from Dalot. I mean, Dalot's cross was good, but it was probably hit with a bit too much power. The way that Bruno controlled that and finished it was really, really good. Dalot's cross was good, but it probably had so much pace on it. Bruno did really, really well to control that into the far corner. So yes, guys, I think the key about today, I think this comment is really, really good from Miles. I think this is the key today. Getting the clean sheet, grit, determination, the game management as well towards in injury time. I thought we managed the game quite well. When Ronaldo came on, I think he lost the ball a few times, but he gave us more of a focal point, won a couple of headers, I think he did. Won at least one header, at least put defenders off a bit. We managed to keep the ball in there. Third, we probably should have had a second goal. Ronaldo towards the end picked the wrong pass, really, delayed his pass too much. But yes, guys, I think the biggest part of today was the clean sheet, keeping a clean sheet against this Southampton team. But yes, guys, there's 25 people watching right now, guys. Please smash a like on the video right now. Let's try and hit 20 likes. Please get involved in the comments as well. Let me know your thoughts on the game. I've said already, very, very happy with the result. We needed to. The game against Liverpool was at home. We'd lost our last 7 away Premier League games, conceding the first goal in every single one of them, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think that's correct. So we had to get the first goal today. I said that I think if we concede the first goal, the Southampton fans behind them, we're playing away from home, we might struggle. But we did really, really well to get that first goal. Excellent finish from Bruno. And yes, guys, really, really pleased with the game. So let me, guys, please get involved in the comments right now. Let me know your thoughts. Who was your man of the match today? What did you think of the general performance? Please let me know, guys. I think we're up to sort of in the top half of the table now. Obviously, the other results will obviously change where we are. But I think to get 6 points from the last 2 games is really, really good. I think after 2 games, a lot of us were worried, rightly so. After losing against Brighton and Brentford, really, really worried about what could happen. However, the players have reacted well. The manager's reacted well. I think Eric Ten Hag, by the way, I think he deserves a lot of praise. I really do. Eric Ten Hag left Maguire out, Shaw out, Fred out, Ronaldo out, went with the same team again. He probably would have brought Martial in if he was fit, but he wasn't. And then the way that Eric Ten Hag made the substitutions, obviously bringing on Casemiro to shore things up a bit more, bringing on Fred for Eriksen, bringing on Ronaldo, as I said, gives us a bit more of a focal point towards the end of the game. He moved Bruno towards the right towards the end of the game. Obviously, Bruno's work rate, we know, he's very, very good at a possession. So I think, to be honest with you, I think Eric Ten Hag deserves a lot of praise for his team selection, for his game management, his substitutions again. I think a lot of people were very, very quick to criticise Ten Hag in the first 2 games. I said, Ten Hag, okay, he might have made a few mistakes, but he's coming to the Premier League. He needs to get used to things. He hasn't got the profiles he wants. You've got to give him time. You've got to make sure you back him. And although we've won today, although we won against Liverpool, we did a lot. We need a lot more in the transfer market. We really do. I think we still need a right back, a goalkeeper. We could do with it. We could do with 2 attacking players and another midfield player. I know we won't get all those, but we need a few of those. We need some players in the door. I really, really do believe we still need a lot of players through the door in these sort of next few days. But please, guys, like the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments as well. Miles has already put a good comment up. Please know what you guys think. Interesting results going on in the Premier League so far today as well. Manchester City are 2-0 down at home to Crystal Palace. Liverpool are winning by 4-0. And Chelsea have had a red card, so Chelsea are down to 10 men at home to Leicester. So 2 of the 3 games are going in our favour, really. 2 teams that we want to make sure we don't get too far behind early on in the season are really they could be having a troublesome day. So yes, guys, interesting results so far. Interesting results. If we look forward to the Leicester game then, obviously we've got Leicester City on Thursday night. Now, and obviously we've got Arsenal on next Sunday. So I think this is going to be a big, big test for Eric Ten Hag. We know we haven't got the signings through the door that we want, or he wants, right? And Eric Ten Hag will know that he's going to have to manage this squad really, really well. Even more so because he hasn't got the amount of depth that he would probably like. So against Leicester and against Arsenal, I am pretty certain here saying that we can't play the same 11 as we did today against Leicester and Arsenal. We can't play the same 11. We also, forget about today's game, even if you just had a game on a Thursday and a Sunday, right? You can't really play the same 11 on both the Thursday and the Sunday, realistically, especially against the sort of opponents we're going to be playing. It's going to be 2 tough games, I think, away at Leicester, home to Arsenal, right? So Eric Ten Hag's got a few decisions to make. He's going to have to make some changes for the Leicester game. Whether he brings Casemiro in from the start, we'll see. I certainly think in the midfield area, I think Eriksen has played. I think he's played really well in the last. Really well. I thought against Liverpool he played well, really, really dogged. Again today, dogged, but I think he could have been better on the ball, Eriksen, today. But I think he still did okay. But I think Eriksen will definitely be one of those that I would look to rest against Leicester, or obviously to take out against Leicester. I wouldn't be surprised if he brings Casemiro in for McTominay as well. Obviously, McTominay took a knock towards the end of the game. So you've also got the likes of Donny van der Beek. You've got Martial, who could possibly come back in. You've got Ronaldo, who could start. Obviously, he picked up a slight knock as well. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. But please, guys, 17 people watching right now. Please, I really appreciate you coming along. Really, really appreciate it. Please do leave a like on the video if you're watching right now. And please get involved in the comments, guys. Let me know what you thought of today's game. Let me know what you think as well about the other results going around the league at the moment. Liverpool are winning by 5-0 now. Manchester City are losing 2-0 and Chelsea are drawing 0-0 and they've had a man sent off. So interesting results right now in the Premier League. Please get all your thoughts in, guys. Let me know what you think about our game today and also about the other results. What do you guys think? Obviously, some very, very promising results for us today so far in the Premier League. MJ says, we desperately need a conductor, someone to receive the ball from Martinez and set the tempo. Yeah, fully agree. Casemiro isn't that player. He isn't that player. However, Casemiro, I think a couple of times today, his line-breaking passes, I think he made 2, from what I remember, were really, really good. So I think we did see some promising signs from Martinez. But you are right, MJ. Martinez isn't Casemiro is not a conductor. He's more of a destroyer. Yeah, so I think we saw from Casemiro that ability he has of playing those line-breaking passes, but he's not that player to do it very consistently. That's not where his true qualities lie, right? And so I think you're spot on there, mate. I think you're spot on. I think other things to take away from today, I think we did miss that player as sort of a focal point to hold the ball up, to link play. I think when Martial doesn't play, out of the current attackers we have right now, I don't think we have a player who can do that consistently. And even Martial can't do it consistently because of injuries, etc. So we certainly need to bring in a striker. We really need a striker. I'd take Memphis Depay. I really would. If you would have offered it to me a few weeks ago, I might have said no. But the situation we're in right now, we've got a few days to go in the transfer window. We're on the 27th of August now. We've got a few days to go. We really, really need a striker in there. We need a striker that can complement our attacking players. I think the likes of Rashford and Bruno really, really work well with more of a striker who can play with his back to goal, link play, more of a unselfish type of striker. I think when Ronaldo plays, you see the dynamic with Rashford, Ronaldo, Bruno. It's a little bit too direct. So I think you are right, MJ. I think we certainly need a conductor. I've always spoke about, obviously, Frankie de Jong, we know, Fabian Ruiz as well from Napoli, but I think he's going to PSG. I like Benacer as well from AC Milan, but we just don't seem to be going after another midfield player. But I think I certainly agree with you there, mate. I think we do need another midfield player. But even in midfield, even if we get the midfield player, I still think we need a striker and a wide player, possibly a right back as well if we can get rid of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but I don't think we will. Obviously, we need a goalkeeper as well. So there's still a lot of work to do. We're totally unprepared. Obviously, Glazer's out and all that. Obviously, the ownership, the structure is horrendous at the football club. There's no doubt about that. The way that we've almost let Ten Hag out to dry, really. I mean, Ten Hag and the team have done very well to get 2 wins in the last 2 games. For the squad that we've got a very, very limited squad, an unbalanced squad. And even though we've won against Liverpool and we've won today, it's sort of papering over the cracks a bit in terms of the whole squad, the squad depth over a full season. How is this team going to cope? I think the back four of Dalot, Varane, Martinez and Malacia, there is some potential there. However, what you've got to realise is we've got Leicester on Thursday, we've got Arsenal on Sunday. I'd be surprised if Ten Hag plays Varane in particular in both of those games. You know, you've got to rotate at some point. We've got the Europa League draw now. We know we're playing Sociedad. We know we're playing Sheriff. We know we're playing Oman in Nicosia, so we know our opponents there. We've got the fixtures out there. I think our first game is at home to Real Sociedad in the group, so obviously that's probably our toughest opponent. So we need to make sure we go with a strong team into that game. So I think Erik Ten Hag, I think that's in sort of September time as well, the start of September, start to mid to September. So Erik Ten Hag will know 2 wins from the last 2 games, very, very good. But he will know himself that he hasn't got the resources currently in the squad to be able to do well with this squad over a whole season. And I still agree with that. That's still my sort of philosophy. I still think we need a lot more in the transfer markets. I think MJ is right with his comment in terms of a conductor. I think we also need at least one wide player, and we need a striker who can link play with his back to goal, hold the ball up, that sort of a player rather than a direct player. I think we need more of a replacement for Wan-Bissaka if we can. We need a goalkeeper as well. So there's a lot more work to do. There's a lot more work to do in the next few days. Do I have faith in the owners? No, I don't. But I hope, and that's all we can do, continue the movement, Glazers out, continue the protest, the good work that the 1958, the good work that the other fan groups and every fan sort of from all parts of the world, the job that everyone's doing to try and sort of increase the hashtags on social media, whatever you can do to try and put the pressure on. But I just hope that the takeover sort of rumours become sort of more persistent, more widespread in the next few days and weeks and months, because we certainly do need new ownership. We need a new structure above Ten Hag, because although Ten Hag and the coaching staff and whoever helps Ten Hag makes decisions, right, although they've got the decisions really, really spot on against Liverpool and today, there's no doubt about it. The manager, the setup, it's worked. It's worked. Although today we had some tough moments, we could have conceded 1 or 2 goals. We could have also scored 1 or 2 more goals, right? But it worked. We got the 3 points against Liverpool. We got the 3 points again today, right? But the manager and the coaching staff can only do so much. We can only do so much with this squad. And I think that there's a lot of players in this squad that in the next 2 to 3 years, Ten Hag will look at and think, well, I'm slowly going to make sure that person is on the periphery. I don't think they're at the core part of my squad. I'm going to try and sell them on. I'm going to try and low them out. So I think although we've had 2 really, really good results, and I'm really, really happy with the result today, and obviously against Liverpool, I think Ten Hag will know, the coaching staff will know, there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot more to do. Obviously, there's more work to do with the current players. We can obviously improve aspects of the current players, but also bringing new players in as well. I think there's a lot more work for Erik Ten Hag and sort of the club to try and sort out in the next few days. And I just hope that we do that. I hope that we do that. So please, guys, there's 18 people watching right now, guys. Please, guys, smash a like on the video. Let's try and get to 20 likes. Just a quick match reaction to the very important win against Southampton. If you're new, please do subscribe to the channel as well, Threadman Chazza. Please do also follow me on Twitter if you don't already. Get involved in the comments, guys. I want to see more interaction in the comments. Who was your man of the match today, guys? For me, I might have to go with Martinez again. I thought he was sensational again today. Of course, there's a couple of moments where you're going to be a bit shaky, but I think he won all of his duels today. I think he won all of his aerial duels as well, from what I've looked at. So fair play to Lisandro Martinez. I think the claims that he's too small and all of this, I think those claims are very, very inaccurate. I think there are times where he will struggle. Of course, yeah, he won all 5 of his aerial duels. Wow, all 5 of his aerial duels he won today. There you go. But I think these arguments that Martinez is too small to be a centre back in the Premier League, I don't agree with that. I personally think that it's not all about height. It's about the way you leap. It's the way that you can sometimes put an opponent off, or you can just be aggressive, just try and, even if you don't win the ball, can you put them off balance? And then we know how the relationship between Martinez and Varane has developed already in the last 2 games. Martinez gets really, really tight and aggressive, and Varane covers in behind. So even if Martinez loses the aerial duel, if Varane can stay fit, which is a big if, you've got the right sort of complement next to Martinez in Varane to cover the space and deal with it. Right. So even if Martinez was really poor in the air, which he isn't, it's not all about that. And he actually isn't poor in the air. He's actually in the Eredivisie. He won a big percentage of his duels. The percentage dropped in the Champions League. Yes, it did drop. However, still, even though when he was playing against opponents like Haaland and Nunes, he played both of those for Ajax last season. He played against Dortmund and Benfica for Ajax last season. When I watched him, he dealt with Haaland and Nunes pretty well for a so-called too small defender. I think that's total rubbish. I think that's a bad narrative, a false narrative. And I think Martinez will be absolutely fine. There will be times where he'll be caught out. Of course there will. Of course there will. But it's not what people need to realise is every player has a weakness in world football. And Martinez's weakness sometimes will be his height. It will be. However, if you look at the stats, if you look at the players he's got around him, if we get a more commanding goalkeeper in as well, you put Casemiro in front of him, he's going to have a lot more protection in there. So they're my thoughts, guys. Let me know in the comments, guys. Please leave a like on the video right now. 23 people watching. Please leave a like on the video. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of Lisandro Martinez so far in his first? Obviously, he's played three and a half games. He obviously played half a game away at Brentford, but he's played 3.5 games in total, really. What do you guys think of Lisandro Martinez? Please let me know, guys, in the comments. For me, I think he's been pretty good so far. Even when people called him out to be poor against Brentford, I actually thought he had a decent game. I thought he was a scapegoat of it. I really did. I thought there were players that made many, many more mistakes than he did. So let me know, guys, in the comments, what do you guys think of Lisandro Martinez so far? For me, I think he's been solid. I think this idea that he's too small, I don't agree with. I really do think he's been a good performer so far for us. So yes, guys, let me know in the comments. If you're new, guys, please do subscribe as well. If you are new, we're only on 7 likes, guys. There's 22 people watching, but we're on 7 likes. So I really want to hit 20 likes. So please, guys, if you haven't hit the like button already, please go and hit the like button right now. I'd really, really appreciate it. If you're new, please do subscribe as well. Get your thoughts in the comments. I want more comments. I want more interaction on the show. We've had Miles and MJ already. I want to see more interaction, more thoughts from everybody watching. Let me know what you guys think of the game today. Anything else to discuss from today? Obviously, Casemiro, when he came on, for me, I think Casemiro, although he got dribbled past a couple of times, overall, I thought he showed what he can do when he gets up to speed, when he plays with the right players around him. I think Casemiro will be a really, really... I think he'll be a good player for us. I don't think it's a fantastic deal for 60 million euros. I don't think that's a great deal. I think that's on United. But in terms of what he'll bring to the team, a lot of quality. MJ says, great player, but I prefer a better left-back beside him. Lodi going to Price. Yeah, Lodi's a good player. I think that left-back area, I think at the moment, Malacia's got that spot. I think Shaw will have to win it back. I thought Malacia did okay today. Probably didn't have as much of a good game as he did against Liverpool, but I thought he still did okay. Exactly, Misha. But that's the thing, Misha. Like, what people don't realise is you don't always have to go into an aerial duel. So if the ball's up in the air, if you just drop back 5 yards and the player that's going up for the ball doesn't anticipate it or doesn't react quickly enough, that player knocks the ball on, you've dropped behind into that space and you just pick the ball up. You literally just control the ball with your foot and play, right? Even if he does go for the aerial duel, he's proved in the Eredivisie, with the amount of duels he wins per 90, he's proved that he can handle it. That's not to say he won't struggle. He will struggle against certain strikers. But today, he had 5 aerial duels and he won all 5. So, it's quite comical, I think, when people, say after one game, people said, oh, he's this, he's that. You can't judge it, but we still can't judge him too much right now. We need to see him for a whole season, really, or even 2 seasons to really see Martinez. But what you can see from Martinez is his aggression, determination, attitude, mentality up here. You can see the way he reacts when he blocks a shot, when we win the game. I'd imagine he's very delighted with a clean sheet again today. And I think if you're looking for a leader in that Manchester United squad, I think in the future, if he continues to show what he's showing right now, then for sure, I think he could be a man with the right mentality, with the right attitude to lead this Manchester United side. But yes, guys, let me know your thoughts on Martinez. For me, I thought he was really, really good again today. Anthony Elanga. Let's talk about Anthony Elanga. I think Ilanga's a real tough one because I've said before, I think Anthony Ilanga is not the most talented player in terms of natural technical ability. However, Anthony Ilanga does bring something that our other attacking players don't. It's the same as similar to what Dan James brought us. You see, with the goal that we scored, the start of the second half, Ilanga was driving infield, so he was playing on that right hand side, but he was driving infield, and that allowed Dalot to take up the space on the in that sort of right channel, and that's how Dalot got the cross in for Bruno's goal. Right, so this is what people don't see. People only focus on, who scored the goal, but it's actually the positioning, the way that Ilanga drove infield with that ball, allowed Dalot to go on the overlap and provide the width, and he found the pass, he found the cross for Bruno's goal. Right, so for me, Ilanga is, he might prove me wrong, but I don't think Ilanga is ever going to be a world-class player. Right, I don't think he will. But what Anthony Ilanga gives you is Anthony Ilanga gives you the work rate, he gives you the attitude, and I think he is very, very good at driving into spaces. We saw, I think their centre back made a last-minute sort of a last-ditch block as well on a chance he had. So I think Ilanga, I think his overall ability in terms of natural ability is not fantastic, but I think he can be a squad player. He's still young, and he can be a squad player for us that can provide certain sort of aspects that might be useful. But I still think we need two wide players. I think we need two wide players, or a wide player and a striker. We definitely need two attacking players. Red Dead United TV, Charlie, happy with Ilanga, Dalot and McTominay. Yeah, Ilanga played okay. Dalot, again, was okay. McTominay, I think they were all okay. I thought they were all about 6 out of 10. Maybe you could edge to a 7 for Dalot, but maybe McTominay as well. I thought they were all okay at Red Dead United TV. They were all okay. But please, guys, smash a like on the video if you haven't already. If you are new, please do subscribe. Get involved in the comments as well. We talked about Martinez. We talked about Anthony Ilanga as well. I think, who else can we talk about? Possibly Bruno Fernandes. Very, very frustrating in the first half, but a fantastic finish for the goal. Really was brilliant. I think one of Bruno Fernandes' best qualities is his finishing. I think the way that Bruno Fernandes can finish is very much like a centre forward. He finishes really, really well. I'm not saying he's consistent with it. He's probably not consistent with his finishing, but he does that. He does have that in his locker. He has a very, very, I think he controlled the ball very, very well for that goal. That Dalot cross, as I said before, was a little bit overhit. It was a good cross, but it was a little bit overhit. And Fernandes controlled it really, really well into the corner. So, yeah, I'm very, very happy with Bruno's goal today, but I think his overall game still needs to improve. I think we went for that killer pass way too early. If you go for that killer pass way too early, you lose possession when you're not in the right shape to win it back, and you get counted on and you will suffer. I think what Ten Hag and Bruno will need to, and the coaching staff with Bruno, what they'll need to work on is just the timing, the awareness, that intelligence, when to slow the game down, when to speed the game up. If you saw the goal that we scored, that I just talked about, Dalot into Fernandes, that was a really, really good team goal. And that came when we had combination play. We passed and moved, shorter passes, and then a cross from Dalot into Fernandes. You will get more goals, you will play better football, you'll get better results when you play that sort of football, rather than going for that killer pass too early, conceding possession, you're out of shape, and then you get counted on. So I think there's something to work with there in terms of scoring more team goals, combination play. That really, really impressed me for that goal. Misha says, Ilanga is the reason why we need Anthony, Gakpo, another wing. We lack quality. Yeah, we do. We do. And we're having to play Rashford out of position. Rashford's not a number 9, but that's why we're having to play Rashford as well. We haven't got the quality. We haven't got that centre forward at the moment, with Martial being injured, Ronaldo possibly leaving as well. Ideally, we need 2 wide players and a striker, ideally. But we're probably going to get 1 wide player, maybe Anthony and possibly Depay. But yes, Michel, I agree, mate. I think we need a lot more in those attacking areas. And as MJ said as well, we need more of a conductor in midfield, that really, really progressive outlet. I think we need that as well. A player like a Fabian Ruiz, Frankie de Jong, that sort of profile, because I don't think we've got that right now in our midfield. But yes, guys, we've got 10 likes so far. Right, we've just beaten Southampton. We're in good spirits. Let's smash a like on the video to celebrate. We've got more than 20 people watching right now, but only 10 likes. So please, guys, please smash a like on the video right now if you're watching. We've had a lot of growth on this channel in the last few weeks. I really appreciate it. If you're not part of the channel yet in terms of subscribing, please do subscribe. We've got some exciting content coming soon, I have to say. We've got some exciting content coming soon, both on my Twitter, on other channels as well, on this channel. So please do make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. Red Dead United TV, Malacia. I thought he was okay today. I didn't think he played as well as he did against Liverpool, but I still think he was okay. Gave the ball away in the first half, gave it to Aribo, I think it was, in the box. That was poor. But I think overall, Malacia, what he lacks in terms of, for example, if he misses that first tackle, what Malacia has is that recovery pace. He's so good with his recovery. If you watch a game from Shaw and then watch a game from Malacia, and if you, I could probably do it. I could probably find some sort of screenshots from the games, right? And if you take the screenshots from the games and look at the way that Malacia, look at how close Malacia is to his opponent, look how close to Shaw is to his opponent. It's polar opposite. So Red Dead United TV, I'd say I want to see more from our fullbacks going forward still. I still want to see more from our fullbacks going forward. But I think defensively, I think Dallo as well, I think he cleared something off the line. It was nearly on the line anyway in the game. I thought Malacia as well, defensively, was okay again. I thought he was pretty decent again. But we've got to remember, Red Dead United TV, we've got a lot of work to do yet. You know, these players are just getting used to each other. It takes a lot of time in football to build relationships, to build triangles with your teammates. So, you know, there's no good sort of, you know, if Malacia gets dropped, for example, against Leicester, or not dropped, if he gets, you know, if we look to rotate and bring Shaw back in, you know, and then if Luke Shaw has a bad game, for example, well, we've also got to think, well, Luke Shaw hasn't played much with Martinez before, etc. You know what I mean? So I think you've got to realise in football, it's not all about the individual, it's about the collective, the group. You need to play well as a group. So I think we need to see some consistency, and we need to make sure these players can build relationships. And when they do, we'll see probably some even better results than we have already. Big up, mate, to Boho. Big up, mate. I hope you're doing well. A big win today for us. Maisha, I think Malacia is like Wan-Bissaka, but more technical, intelligent on off the ball. Yeah, I think there's more to see from Malacia going forward. As I said, I think Malacia has actually got a really, really good delivery. You'll see that hopefully soon. And I think he is quite dangerous in the final third when he's given license to be, but I don't think we've seen that too much from him yet. That's absolutely fine. I'm happy as long as we're winning football matches, as long as we're picking up points, as long as we're seeing commitment from the players. That's all that matters. So yes, guys, interesting thoughts on Malacia. Let's move to Varane. I thought, again, Varane was pretty good today. I thought he was pretty good. I've raised the question on this show already today, guys. Will Ten Hag look to rest Varane or rotate Varane against Leicester? Because we know Varane's injury record. He's obviously on an individual programme in terms of his training, but we know that Rafael Varane does struggle to stay fit. So will Erik Ten Hag look to make a change, you know, take him out for the Leicester game and then bring him back in for the Arsenal game? So I think that's something to sort of look out for, guys. Sort of look out for what Ten Hag does with Rafael Varane. I think that's something really, really key for this season. I think the way that we manage Varane will be really crucial to how good of a season we have, because there's no doubt on the ball, Varane isn't fantastic. I think he's around average in terms of centre-backs, right? But in terms of off the ball, the communication, the way, the elegance he has, the comfort he gives the whole team, I think Varane off the ball, really, really good. MJ, yeah, I understand this. This is a interesting comment. So Bruno plays that killer pass too early a lot of the time. We saw in the first half. Eriksen did it as well in the first half. A lot of our players were looking for that killer pass too early. As soon as we started to play better football with combination play, shorter passes, looking for triangles, we looked a lot better. If you remember in the first half, I remember a couple of opportunities we had where we were around the box, we were around the Southampton box, and we were just passing it from side to side, looking for openings. And we looked a lot more dangerous doing it like that. And if you look at the goal that we scored through Bruno, You look at the way that we linked play, the way we combined, the way everybody combined to make that goal happen. So I think Bruno Fernandes, and I've said this before, I think he will be played a lot under Erik Ten Hag, right? However, in the long term, if Bruno Fernandes does not become a little bit more disciplined, does not change slightly, then I think he will end up possibly being dropped. But I understand, MJ, you can't take directness out of a player. You can't do that. However, I think you can help a player if you've got a more well-functioning sort of system. You can make up for what Bruno does. So, for example, MJ, if Bruno plays that killer pass too early, we lose the ball. You've now got a player in Casemiro to be able to protect the back four against the counter-attacks, if you see what I'm saying, right? So even though you might not think Bruno can be taught and things like that, you can try and mask any weaknesses that a player has by putting the right players around him. So even if we don't think Bruno can sort of adapt his game, we need to make sure we get the right midfield players around him to make sure he can flourish better. However, I do agree with MJ in terms of the directness. I think he is too direct. And I think if he keeps on being this direct, we will concede possession too often. So I think MJ's got a point there, and I think we'll see how he gets on. Big up, Alien Tenor, mate. I hope you're doing well. Big win today. Let me know, guys. Who was your man of the match today? Who was your man of the match today? For me, I think Martinez again was terrific. Absolutely terrific. Yeah, I see that, MJ. I agree with you there. I just think with a player like Casemiro compared to McTominay and Fred, if you have Casemiro in there, the amount of balls that we give away through being too direct, Casemiro will win more of those back than the other players would that we had originally. But I do agree over the whole season, that does need to be changed for us to have real success. You know, in football, you can't rely on individuals to get results. You need to have a well-functioning system, I always call it a well-oiled machine, right? And I said this yesterday on our show, and Alien Tenor will know this if he was on the show last night. Dallo man of the match. Yep, Dallo played really, really well. But anyone who watched the show last night on Saeed's channel, you'll know what I said. I said, we need to find a way of winning football matches by scoring fewer goals. And you might be thinking, well, Charlie, what are you on about? But what I'm saying is, if you look at how many clean sheets typically teams get when they win titles, they tend to get a lot of 1-2-0 wins. I can't remember over the last sort of 18 months, how many 1 and 2-0 wins we've actually got. I think today's clean sheet, was the first clean sheet away from home since December in the league. That is crazy, absolutely crazy. So we need to find a way as a team to only need 1 or 2 goals to win a game of football. I think you saw Manchester City drawing 3-3 at Newcastle. You saw Manchester City today. I don't know whether it's still 2-0, but they were losing 2-0 at home to Palace. Liverpool drew 2-2 at Fulham. You can't rely on the likes of De Bruyne, Salah, Nunes, etc. You can't rely on these players to get you out of jail every week and score 3 or 4 goals. You need to be solid defensively. So I think that's why I think MJ's point in terms of Bruno, I agree with that. And I also think you can't have Bruno Fernandes you can't have the main man in the system. You've got to have everybody contributing. You've got to have, when you go forward, when you defend, you need to be a unit in and out of possession. Manchester City have just scored, by the way, 2-1. So Man City are back in the game. A little bit disappointing, I know, but Manchester City have just scored. So it's 2-1 there against Crystal Palace. So we'll see how that one goes. Lack of cutting edge. Yeah, I do agree. Alien Tenor, I think that's an issue that we've raised. Martinez, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I thought they were good as well. I agree with this comment from Alien Tenor, but I also sort of stand by what I just said, where Manchester United, we've conceded 4 away at Brentford, 4 away at Leicester, 4 away at Liverpool, 4 away at City, 4 away at Brighton. I could go on and on. 4 away at Watford. We've conceded, particularly away from home, we've conceded so many goals in the last 12 months. If you stick in a game, if you make yourself hard to beat, if you're really, really solid defensively, you give yourself that base to build from, that foundation to then go and win a game. Manchester United, if we would have played that Southampton game last season with the same players that we had last season, we probably would have been 2 or 3 down at half time away at Southampton. We probably would have been. But I think bringing Malacia in, bringing Martinez in, obviously bringing Casemiro in the second half as well, bringing players with that attitude, the right mentality, the right fight, the doggedness, just the attitude to want to make sure we keep that clean sheet, to defend, to fight for your lives, to bleed for the badge. I think they are really, really important things. And I think those are things that we've missed in the last sort of few years, really. Even since Ferguson, I think we've missed players with that quality and with the grit and the determination, the right attitude. I think we've had the likes of Pogba, Mata. We've still got Martial. A lot of those players receive criticism for have they got the right mentality? Do they really want it? And all this, maybe not so much Mata, but I remember Pogba and Martial. Those players, Martial still gets a lot of criticism for that from certain people giving criticism for that, right? And then we've had other players who, for example, like the Scott McTominay, Fred. A lot of people think they sort of lack the right quality, but they have the right attitude, right? But I think what we need to get at is sort of a middle ground where we've got the players with the right quality and the right attitude. And I'm hoping that the likes of Martinez, Malacia, Eriksen, Casemiro, hopefully if we sign Anthony, hopefully if we sign some more players, which we need to, we've got more of a good core. We need a good core in this squad. And I think a core of Martinez, Varane and Casemiro, if Varane can stay fit, I keep saying that because he needs to, that could be a really, really good core. League and Cups are won on a solid defence. However, you need the killer blow to win them. Yeah, exactly. So they're built on a solid defence, but you need that cutting edge. So I don't mind if that cutting edge comes further down the line. I just think for now, I think we need to have those foundations built from the. I think we probably need a new goalkeeper as well. Although De Gea made 1 or 2 good saves today, I think we need a good goalkeeper to come in. Whether it be Dean Henderson, I'm not too sure on him still. Well, I think we do need a new goalkeeper to come in probably next summer. We've got 2 centre halves. We need a strong base there with Casemiro sort of in that 6th position. So I think that'll give us more of a core. And then when you concede less goals, you'll get more points naturally. So yes, we need to score more goals, but also, excuse me, guys, I'm also happy to win games of football, get 3 points. Let me take some water. It's all that shouting. All that shouting earlier. All that shouting in that game. Especially when we won it, I was very, very happy to win. Erik Ten Hag should have made his subs earlier. Look, I think Casemiro was. I think he was going to come on, wasn't he? And then it was delayed by a few minutes. But look, for me, I think we did need changes around the hour mark, but we won the game. I think we did pretty well. I still don't think Ten Hag probably has the quality on the bench that he probably wants as well, in all honesty, Ellie and Tenno. I think we still need, as MJ said, we need that more of a controller in midfield. We need a couple of wide players. We need a striker, a right back, a goalkeeper. So I still think Ten Hag probably looks at his bench and thinks it's a bit uninspiring, really, especially if we start to get a few more injuries. I still think we need more on that bench for him to bring on. MJ, yeah, that's a top deal. I think there's an option to buy as well, isn't there? I don't know. It's like 30 million option to buy it. I don't know what it is, but I think there might be an option to buy or some sort of buy clause included in that as well. That's a good signing. Good player from Atletico Madrid, Lodi. My shot. I think this squad is back to doing basic. Yeah, exactly. They're the basics of football. We shouldn't have to sort of ask for those, but we've had to ask for those in the last few months. We've said as Manchester United fans, who actually wants to play for this club? Where's your fight? Where's your determination? But we saw today, we've seen in previous games that they can do it. They can do it. Let's have a look at some other comments as well. He'll play Eddie and Tenor. I think he will play. I think he'll get his game time. He just needs to be patient. We don't know what's going on in training. I imagine he's a good trainer. Donny doesn't seem to me like somebody who would sort of mess around or not give his all. He looks like a good, honest player. So I think he will come in. I think you'll see Donny play. I think there's a lot of fixtures he'll have to play and he'll have to contribute. But please, guys, if you're watching right now, please smash a like on the video. Let's try and get to 20 likes. We're on 11 likes right now. Let's try and hit 20 likes. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of today. Obviously, interesting game against Leicester on Thursday night and then against Arsenal on Sunday as well. So Erik Ten Hag is going to have to use his squad. He's going to have to understand what he wants out of his squad. He may have to make a few changes. He'll certainly have to make a few changes for the Leicester game and then the Arsenal game as well. It'll be interesting to see how he sort of reacts to it, Ten Hag. You know, you don't really want to change a winning team. However, you can't really play the same team, same 11, and risk too many injuries and too many fitness concerns in the space of 9 days or 8 days. I think 8 days, isn't it? We've got to play 3 games. So I think Erik Ten Hag's got a big decision to make for Leicester. Does he rest Varane? Does he bring Casemiro in? I'd imagine probably Casemiro and Fred could possibly come in. Possibly even Donny van der Beek might get a game. Martial, if he's fit, might come in. Luke Shaw, Maguire, you might see one of those come in as well, or even both. So I think Erik Ten Hag will have to bring players back in. I think he will have to make changes for the next few games. You can't play the same 11 in the next 8 days, really. Alien Tenno, Charlie, if you can nail down one of these players, Anthony or Frankie de Jong. Yeah, I'll take Frankie de Jong ahead of Anthony right now. I think with the strategy we're looking at going at Alien Tenno, we need both, really. Look, I think Anthony's not worth what we're going for him, sort of 100 million euros. I don't think he's worth that, sort of the deal that we're going at. But we probably need both of those players right now. I don't think we're going for any alternatives. I'd love Elise from Palace. I'd love to see Elise come from Palace. Pedro Neto from Wolves as well. Those are 2 players I really, really like. You've even got Gakpo, obviously that's more of an interesting option, really. Cody Gakpo from PSV, more of an inside forward player. You've got Diaby as well from Bayer Leverkusen. So there's a lot of options out there. There really are. There's a lot of options out there, but we don't seem to be having any alternatives. You know, I think it was the same for Frankie de Jong as well. I think we panicked a bit. We went to Rabiot, who's a completely different profile, and then we went to Casemiro, who's another completely different profile. So I think the board and the club have showed they've got really no clue what they're doing. I think they just tried to appease the fans by signing Casemiro. But Casemiro is a great player, so I'm happy he's here. But I think he wasn't the player that Ten Hag originally wanted, in all honesty. Elliot and Martinez and Varane, they do. But as I said, that partnership will not be able to play every game. You've got to be able to make some changes, particularly Varane. Varane will have to probably come out for the Leicester or the Arsenal game, I imagine. Because we know what Varane is like in terms of his injury record. He's on an individual training program now, so we'll see how that goes. But yes, guys, I think we're going to end the show there. Please, as always, please leave a like. Please subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate all the comments that came in today. Big up to Miles, MJ, Michael, Red Dead United TV, Teboho, Alien Tenno as well. I really, really appreciate all you guys and everyone else for coming along. If you're new, I really appreciate it. If you're an old subscriber, I really appreciate that as well. Another big win for Manchester United today. Let's make sure we back it up with another 3 points against Leicester and Arsenal if we can. 2 big games to come up next week. I'll be back soon with another show. Until then, please leave a like if you enjoyed. Please subscribe if you're new. If you're watching this back later on, please do get involved in the comments as well. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Up the Reds. See you later.